recap video, Introduction to Microbit. In this video, we will go through all of the things you will need to use to get started using the Microbit website. We will show you how to use block coding to write your own programs, what each of the blocks of code means, and how you can transfer your code to your emulator, which is the Microbit on the screen, or your own physical Microbit if you have one. You will be able to stop, pause and rewind the video to the parts that you need. So let's get started and see how we can use a Microbit in action. Welcome to this recap video, Introduction to Microbit. In this video, we will go through all of the things you will need to use to get started using the Microbit. So let's get started. The Microbit emulator is web-based. This means it can be accessed from any device. For this video, I'm going to access the Microbit through the iPad, but you can do this on a laptop, an Android device or an iPad. It's completely up to you. So what we will need to do, we will need to load up our web browser. So on my iPad, this is Safari, and I'm going to choose a new window and open up microbit.org. And then that will then take me to the website that we are using. So it may be that you enter that address into Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, whichever web browser you use, and it will come up like this. Now, a top tip might be that if you are wanting to use this regularly, you could save a little bookmark on your device. So it might be on your laptop, you save it to your bookmarks bar or on your Android device. But what I'm going to do on my iPad, I'm going to tap the little square and up arrow in the corner. This is my share button and it brings up a menu. And if I scroll down, I can tap on add to home screen. It comes up with all of this information, but what I can do is I can just delete all of that text beforehand and just save it so that it says Microbit. And if I tap on add, what it will do now is it will save my bookmark as an app. So every time I want to use it now, I can just tap on the M and it will take me straight to the website, which is great. If you do have an iPad, you can also download the Microbit app. It looks exactly like this and it's free. And if I just show you, if I tap on the Create Code button, it literally will just take me straight through to the website that we're using as well. So it's completely up to you how you would like to do that. But if I just go back into the web browser, you'll see it comes up with this menu here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tap on Let's Code. And it will then bring me up with this page. And we're looking for the button that says Make Code Editor. And what you'll do is you'll notice that looks a bit familiar to the app there. This is my Microbit dashboard where I'm going to learn how to do all of my coding. And to get started, all we need to do, we don't need to create an account. We just need to click on the purple add button. It will then say, what do you want to give your project the name of? So I'm just going to type in here project 1. You can call it anything you like. And then it gets us into our Make Code Editor. And you can see you have your Microbit on the left-hand side and you have your area where we're going to code on the right-hand side. And once we're here, we can then start to think about some coding. Look at creating some code. Now, in Microbit, we can code in 3 different languages. For the purpose of the video, we're going to use block coding, which we can see at the top. We have the white button that says blocks. But if you wanted to take it that next level, you can actually write your code in both JavaScript and in Python if you wanted to explore that. And we will have a look at that later on. But today we're just going to do our coding in block code. Now you will see we have 2 little blocks here on the right hand side. We have an on start block and a forever block. And what we'll do is we will have a look at this later on as to what the difference is between them. But what I want you to do is I want you to think of it very much like Lego. Okay, when we build a big tower, we use lots of Lego blocks all together. Sometimes they're different colours, sometimes they're the same colour. And when we're talking about coloured blocks, in the middle here, you can see that there are different colours that are different types of blocks. So if I just go down there, you can see you've got your basic blocks, some input buttons. You've got more input buttons there. There's a music button, an LED, and then there's some more there. There's some radio buttons. There's some loops, which we might use later on. There's some logic blocks. There's some variables if we wanted to add in a variable. And there's some maths blocks at the end. And then there's even all of these ones down at the bottom, which can get really, really technical. But let's just have a go at adding in some blocks. So just like Lego, we're going to stick some blocks together. And what I'm going to do is I would just like to make sure that I have a picture on my microbit. So I'm going to tap on Basic at the top. And then I'm going to come down to the block that says Show Icon. And I'm just going to put it in between my OnStart block. Now you can see there it already has a heart. But if I choose the down arrow, you can see that there are lots of different pictures there that you could use. But I'm just going to stay with the heart there. And then you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, my heart has appeared on my device. So then you can see anything that you put in that OnStart block, when you press the play button on your microbit, it will happen. So I'm going to take that block out and just put it in the bin. And then this time I'm going to try and put a smiley face. So I'm going to click on the show icon and I'm just going to pop it into the OnStart there. And this time I'm going to do a smiley face. If I then press my play button, you can see it's appeared on my microbit. And what we can do is we can start to add more things into here to make it a little bit more interesting. So I could do a smiley face and a sad face by just adding another block in and changing that one to a sad face. So now you can see an happy then sad. Now, what we could do is we could keep going with these and maybe make them into an animation, and we'll do that in a minute. Let's have a look at some other things we can do in that basic block though. One of the other things I can do is I can add in some text. And if I put this show string block in, what do you think it's going to say? You're right, it's going to say hello. So let's watch. I can now see that it's scrolling along and saying hello with an exclamation mark. It doesn't put the speech marks in. That's just telling the microbit that's what you want it to say. So I could change this by tapping on the word hello. I can then delete that text and I can say Happy Valentine's Day. Now, I've just used an emoji there. What do you think would happen there? You're right, it wouldn't work because we have to have it where it would be able to be created using the LED lights on the microbit. But you can see now, it's saying Happy Valentine's Day. Now, wouldn't it be lovely if we could maybe start that with a heart and end it with a heart? So let's have a go at that. I'm going to come to my basic block. I'm going to put a block in before, just like Lego, and then I'm going to do a block underneath. And now let's see what happens. If I press my play button, there's my heart. There's my happy. Valentine's Day comes next. So there's my Valentine's. And now we have day, and then it should then show a heart at the end. Perfect. So have a go now and see what you can create with your iPad or other device. So So now we've been able to write a message and show a picture. Let's see if we can create an animation. So an animation is lots of pictures, one after each other, that create a big picture, like a moving image. So let's have a go at doing that. And let's have a go at trying to make a beating heart. Now, this is one of the projects you can download from the Microbit website, but let's have a go at doing it from scratch. So I am going to just put these 2 blocks in the bin because I don't need those, and I'm just going to start with my heart, and you can see that there. Now what I want to do, I want to create my own little beating heart, so I need a smaller one to be able to fit. So I'm just going to drag from this basic, this show LED block. Now at the minute you can see that at the minute there is nothing there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to light up some of these lights and make a little heart. So you can see there, it comes up with a little heart. And you might have seen there, if I just press my play button, it goes big and small, which is great, but then it stops. So how do we get that to go on and on? So what I can do, instead of putting in the on start block, let's move over to the forever block and see what happens. If I now press play, you can see now that it's flashing. That's brilliant. So it means that we've got this beating heart here. Now, what happens if we wanted to put a message in between? So what we're going to do now is we are going to have a look at maybe adding in a loop, and this will help us with our animation. So you can see now my heart is happily beating away on the other side, but I want it to say, I love you, in between some beating hearts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a loop button, and can you see there's lots of different loops here, and I'm going to use repeat 4 times. And I'm just going to put that block in there, and then I'm going to put in my blocks from my forever loop into my on start. And you'll see now it will do it 4 times and then it stops. Then I want to be able to put in some text. So I'm going to go to basic. I'm going to go to that string button like we had before, and I'm going to type in here, I love you. Okay, and then if I look, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, I love you. And then what I might want to do, I might want to do that again. I might want to add in the extra heart animation at the end. So what I can do is I can come to my loops button, tap on that repeat 4 times, and again, just like we had before, we can add in these blocks. I can add in the heart, and then I can add in the show LED block. There we go. If we can't see it, we can just use this little minus button in the corner that zooms in and zooms out on my code. And then I can just add in my little animations there. And if I press my play button now, it flashes my heart. It then says, I love you. And then my heart should then flash again for another 4 times. Let's see if it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So, what's next? Well, literally, the options are absolutely limitless. You can do anything you would like to do with the Microbit. And remember, we are just using the web-based version of Microbit. You can actually put any code that you write on the app or on the website onto an actual physical Microbit as well. So you could do lots of things. So why not have a play around? Before, when we were looking, we looked at the show icon, and there were all of these different pictures that we could use. So you could create your own animation, or you could even create your own picture. So you could even start to create your own animation by adding lots of these little blocks together to create your own animation by literally just tapping on the little lights to make an animation. It's completely up to you. Why not have a look at the other blocks too? You have input. So you can see here, if I start on when I press button A, I can have a heart appear. And if I have when I press button B, I could then have a smiley face appear. And then if I come over here to my Microbit, if I press the little A button, which is just here, oh, look, there's my heart. And if I tap on B, it gives you a smiley face. So there are lots of different things you can do. And to have a little bit of inspiration, if you come up to the top of your screen, there's a little house. And this takes you back to the beginning where we started. But if I scroll down, there are so many tutorials and things that you can do. So we've looked at flashing heart. Why not make a name tag or make a dice? Or you could even do some chatting with your Microbit. You could even, if you wanted to, create your own pet hamster. So have a look on the Microbit website and see what you could create. And share with us at Family Fund. We'd love to see what you've done. We hope you have found this recap video useful. If you would like to attend this session live, please visit our workshop page on the Discover Digital part of our Family Fund website, and you will be able to book a session that works best for you. And we really look forward to seeing you there.